Have you ever seen someone walk into a room, and in just one moment everything stops? Every camera turns, every breath holds still, because something about them, something you can't even explain, changes the air. That's exactly what happened when Kim Taehyung, BTS's own V, stepped into the airport recently. And let me tell you, what he wore that day didn't just surprise fans. It sent the entire world media into a frenzy. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because this story, this moment, and this feeling will stay in your heart long after it ends. Purple Heart. It all started on an ordinary morning in Seoul. Fans had gathered early, as they always do. Banners waving, cameras ready, hearts racing. They thought they were just going to see Taehyung heading off to another overseas schedule. But no one, absolutely no one, was ready for what they saw. A hush fell across the crowd. And then, in that quiet moment, the airport doors opened. And there he was. Taehyung. But not the Taehyung they expected. Not the one in sleek designer coats or perfectly styled hair. He walked in wearing something different. Something that broke every rule of idle airport fashion. Loose, vintage denim that looked like it had lived 1,000 stories. A plain white shirt that hung effortlessly, almost carelessly, on his frame. And over it, a simple old jacket that looked borrowed from another time, another world. No flashy brand logos. No obvious luxury. Unfiltered. And more magnetic than ever. You could almost hear the collective gasp ripple through the crowd. People didn't know whether to scream, cry, or just stare. Because in that moment, it wasn't about clothes anymore. It was about confidence, about presence, about how one man can turn simplicity into power. And that's the thing about Taehyung. He doesn't dress to impress the world. He dresses to express himself. But the world still gets impressed anyway. Within minutes, photos of him flooded the internet. Twitter was exploding, Weibo was melting down. And entertainment reporters around the globe were typing headlines faster than ever. Kim Taehyung breaks fashion norms again. V's airport look shocks the media. Minimalism has never looked this luxurious. Every outlet wanted a piece of it. But behind the flash and frenzy, there was something deeper happening. You see, Taehyung's outfit wasn't just about fashion. It was a quiet rebellion. For years, airport fashion has been about status. Designer labels, new collections, statement looks. It became a competition among idols. An unspoken runway that never ends. But Taehyung, he walked in that day like he wanted to remind everyone of something simple. That style isn't what you wear, it's how you wear it. He made people remember what real confidence looks like. It's not loud. It's not desperate for attention. It's calm, quiet, certain. And somehow, it speaks louder than anything else. A journalist later wrote, Taehyung's outfit was a love letter to authenticity in a world obsessed with perfection. And honestly, that's exactly what it felt like. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Rumors started spreading fast that the outfit wasn't random. Some fans noticed that his jacket looked eerily similar to one he wore years ago, back when BTS were still climbing their way to the top. It was the kind of jacket you keep not because it's fashionable, but because it carries memories. One fan tweeted, "He wore this jacket when he first flew overseas with BTS in 2015. He's wearing it again now. It's like a full circle moment." And just like that, what seemed like a simple outfit became a symbol. A symbol of where he started, and how far he's come. People began connecting the dots. Taehyung had recently spoken in interviews about nostalgia, about missing the early days when everything was simple. Maybe this was his quiet way of saying, I haven't forgotten. Because no matter how global BTS became, no matter how bright the lights got, Taehyung has always stayed grounded. Reporters who were at the airport said something unusual too. Normally, idols rush past cameras, surrounded by staff, hidden behind masks. But that day, Taehyung slowed down. He waved. He smiled. He made eye contact with fans, real warm, lingering eye contact. It wasn't the look of a celebrity putting on a show. It was the look of someone who genuinely saw the people standing there for him. And maybe that's what made it all so emotional. Because it wasn't just about how he looked. It was about how he made everyone feel. Some fans even cried. You could hear soft sobs under the cheers, because moments like these, they remind ARMY why they love him. It's not just his beauty or talent. It's his heart. The way he walks with quiet strength. The way he turns something ordinary into something unforgettable. The way he makes people feel seen just by being himself. But of course the media did what it always does. They analyzed every detail, every photo, every expression. One outlet zoomed in on the tiny details. The vintage watch on his wrist, the unbranded sneakers, even the small tear on the edge of his jacket sleeve. And you know what fans said? It's perfect. Because it's real. And maybe that's the whole point. In a world that's always trying to polish, filter, and perfect everything, Taehyung showed up imperfectly perfect. He reminded everyone that authenticity will always be the most powerful trend. Later that night, fans started calling it the humble look heard around the world, because no one else could have pulled it off. Not with that kind of ease, that quiet grace. Some stylists even commented that the outfit was deliberately unstyled, that Taehyung had chosen it himself, ignoring suggestions for designer pieces and instead going for comfort and memory. If that's true, then this was more than just a fashion choice. It was a statement, a declaration of independence. A few days later, during an interview abroad, a reporter asked him about it. They said, Taehyung, everyone's talking about your airport look. It was so different. What inspired it? And Taehyung just smiled that small, knowing smile he always does. Then he said quietly, I just wanted to feel like myself. Simple words, but they hit differently, because that's exactly what millions of people need to hear. In a world that tells us to fit in, to perform, to constantly impress, Taehyung reminds us that it's okay to just be. After that interview, social media blew up again. Not because of the outfit this time, but because of what it meant. Fans started posting pictures of themselves in simple, everyday clothes with a hashtag #JustBeLikeTaehyung. It became a wave of self-love and authenticity that spread across platforms. People were saying things like, I wore my old jacket today because Taehyung reminded me it's still part of my story. And that's when you realize, this wasn't just an airport moment. It was a movement. Let's pause for a second. Isn't it crazy how one person's quiet confidence can ripple through millions of hearts? Taehyung didn't need to speak loudly. He didn't need a stylist-approved headline look. He just needed to be himself. And that was enough to shake the entire world. That's power. That's grace. That's Kim Taehyung. As days went by, even international fashion houses began referencing his look. A French magazine called it the revival of effortless elegance. An Italian stylist said, Taehyung has reminded us what fashion really means. Emotion, history, and soul. And honestly, they're right. Fashion isn't supposed to be about money or fame. It's supposed to tell your story without words. And Taehyung's story is about growth, humility, nostalgia, and courage. The courage to walk through flashing cameras and still remain gentle, grounded, and true. Somewhere between those flashing lights and the chaos of paparazzi, there was a quiet boy from Daegu who once dreamed of singing. And that day, he walked through that airport like a man who had achieved everything, but never forgot where he began. That's why fans love him so deeply. Because even when the world calls him a superstar, he still carries himself like a friend you could meet in a small cafe somewhere. And maybe that's why his airport look shocked the media so much. 'Cause it wasn't loud. It wasn't extravagant. It was real. And that's what people aren't used to seeing anymore. So what did we really witness that day? Not just a fashion statement. Not just a celebrity moment. We witnessed authenticity becoming viral. We witnessed a man telling his story, silently through fabric and memory. And we witnessed the power of simplicity in a world that's forgotten how beautiful it can be. In the end, maybe that's the magic of Taehyung. He doesn't follow trends, he creates feelings. He doesn't chase attention. It follows him naturally. And through every moment, every smile, every outfit, he teaches us something deeper. To be gentle with ourselves, to honor our past, and to never be afraid of simplicity. So next time you see someone walking confidently in something ordinary, remember Taehyung. Remember how he made the world stop. Not because of what he wore, but because of who he was inside those clothes. And maybe, just maybe, that's what true beauty really is. Because in the end, Taehyung didn't just arrive at the airport that day. He arrived in the hearts of millions. Once again. And he reminded us all that authenticity will always be timeless. Purple Heart. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe. Because more beautiful moments from BTS are waiting, and you don't want to miss them.